We have Kami and Tonja on the line. How are you ladies doing?
Hey, we're doing good. We're doing great.
We are so excited to have you.
Yes.
Honor is here with me, my guest co-host, and we've been talking about y'all for the past 2 hours. Actually, the past few days.
Yes, we have. I've dreamt about you too.
Oh, God.
Good thoughts, right? But we really are excited to have you both on here. We really want to dive into this interview, and absolutely, and we want to answer some pressing questions that I've seen online, some questions that I have myself from watching. I watched every episode, and I'm not gonna lie, just because you guys are here with me, I think you two were my favorite in the house, and that's hands down. I'm dead serious. I almost cussed.
I know.
I said
serious.
I'm dead serious. Like, you guys were my favorite. And I think it's because the connection that you both had was very strong. And unlike some of the other girls, we're out the box here. So I want to tell you something. I know, being on different shows myself, a lot of things is staged. Let's be honest, right? A lot of things is set up a certain way to look a certain way for the feel of the show, to get more views. You know that as well. So I feel like your connection though was very genuine, and some of the other people in the house I felt like were doing it because they had a camera in their face. But we'll get into that. We'll get into. Oh, I heard, who was that, Mom, or was that Kami? Because I heard someone go,
I did too.
So you with it. So the first thing we have to ask you is, are you ready to think out the box?
Oh, I'm absolutely. Let's go.
Great.
Right,
we are on board. We are on board. So I don't know, Kami and Tonja, if you had a chance to see the clip that we just played. It was the official trailer with a little bit extended at the end, and we did show, for the sake of our conversation, we want to briefly talk about, and we don't want to make the whole interview about it, but we want to briefly talk. I'm sure you guys are ready to get over this as well. Trust me.
Let's go. Come on with it.
Right. There's still many people who did watch the show. It was a huge scene that was talked about, I think, by many people. One of the most talked about scenes, actually, literally on the show, was the controversy or challenges that you faced with one of the other daughters, Amber, and her mother, Sean, if I'm saying their names correct. Amber and Sean, right? I'm sure you know their names very well. So, so tell me a little bit about, what started the tension, if you will, if that's a good word to use, I don't know, but what started the tension or the challenges that you guys had faced together in the house to get to where it got to?
Well, actually, you know what? I was surprised too. It actually started the first day. I want to tell you,
oh my gosh,
probably an hour in between us all meeting everyone.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, I am super serious.
Was it more of like a jealousy thing, or was it more like it was just feeling like they were intimidated by you two? I don't understand. Why would they have that beef the first hour? Like, that's crazy.
Actually, this is Tonja speaking. I don't actually know.
Wow.
I mean, we came in, we were very cordial with everyone and tried to be open, but however, that very first day, that very first hour, I want to say, matter of fact, within 15 minutes, all I noticed is that,
she was combative.
Combative.
I'm gonna give you real quick blow by blow. Basically, everyone's sitting on the couch. They're kind of right before Miss Laura comes in. They're talking about dating, and my mom's like,
wow.
You know what? I'm cool right now. I'm a boss chick doing my thing, and then boom. Miss Son was like, I don't believe, that you're happy being single. And then that moment from there on, it
escalated from that time on. And from that time on, it just kept up and down, up and down. And I basically was just trying to explain to her. I said, look, this is me. I said, and I am entitled to my own opinion.
Right.
And I said, and so just because you might experience it that way, this is my point of view, and this is how I feel. No, she didn't want to accept that. And, of course, I wasn't going to accept it either. So then it was like Clash of the Titans from that point on. Bang, bang.
And we saw, and thank you, Mom. Trust me, we saw that. You know what's crazy, though, about this whole experience with it was crazy, though. When I saw it live on TV, I was like, oh, my. This is before I even started talking to Kami or even Tonja. I was like, oh my God, what is really going on in this house? I did not see this show to be portrayed that way. Wow. I knew it was about building and strengthening your relationship with your mother and daughter between the two, but I didn't know that it would get into anything that physical, aside from the challenges that you guys have, the obstacles and stuff. But like literally when it comes to beef with one another, you're supposed to be working on yourself. So why are you focusing on somebody else?
Yep.
Oh my God. and that's what we thought. I had no intentions on working on anybody else other than Cammy and myself.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I personally, I didn't even want to comment on anyone else's, issues they had going on. I didn't even want to say any opinions. Clearly,
Good for
I didn't
you.
have a choice,
Right.
Yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah, I tried that, but then they was getting mad at me. So then I was like, oh shoot,
No, I totally get it. So this is Honor. I just want to say you both are so beautiful. I saw the clips and the pictures. So, yes,
thank you.
Gorgeous, gorgeous ladies. So let's flip it a little bit. So I mean, everyone has their favorite moments. What were your favorite? What's your favorite memory when you were behind the scenes that did not air on TV?
Oh my God, my favorite. I'm trying to
Most memorable. Most memorable. Doesn't have to be your favorite, but what stood out to you the most behind the scenes that did not air? What did we not see that just
You
sticks
know
out?
what? Now that you're asking that, my most favorite moment was after we had our disagreement. We were able to hug one another afterwards. We loved on one another.
That's important.
Amazing.
To one another, but they never aired that, so no one ever got a chance to see Sean coming to me and saying, "Tonja, thank you so much. I really see the connection between you and Cammy, even though we're all here for one reason or another. However, I see the bond that you guys have, and how I like that and would like to be a better mother." They never showed that.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
But no, they never showed it at one point.
They just wanted to keep it with tension.
That's exactly it. They wanted to keep the viewers, and it was a good, challenging moment, probably the most talked about of the whole season. So they didn't want to take away from that moment, which is terrible. They leave out all the good footage.
Where's the teachable moments where you needed?
Exactly. Right. And that's Honor's right. That's a moment you need to learn from. And seeing that on TV, to me, that would have brought. I cry over a lot of stuff. I'm very emotional. So I'm gonna just let you know that. I'm gonna let you know that right. I'm emotional because when I saw Cammy going ham, like, "You're not going for my mother," I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Cammy!" Like, I was over here like crying, like, "Oh my God, let her go! I love her, fro. Leave her alone." Like, I almost went on there and slapped Amber my damn self. Oh, excuse me. Oh. That slipped out. I'm so sorry. Look, everything slips out the box. I can't hold back. I have no filter.
Stick a fork in me.
Yeah, literally, all the way. All the way. But no, and so again, props to you guys because you guys did a great job. You ladies did awesome. Through the challenges, I feel like you've grown. We didn't have any clips to show the actual, so people who didn't get to see this during the trailer, it wasn't actually in the official trailer too much, but they had challenges, like literally almost like an obstacle course, different challenges they had to do together to help strengthen the relationship physically and mentally, and they were put to the test. And I feel like a lot of these challenges were very difficult. Some of the people succeeded through them, and some of them may not have so much. I feel like you two did a great job the entire way through, and you kept it strong together as a team, and that was, to me, what stood out the most.
Kudos to you both.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Them challenges was hard. Shoot.
So
Yes,
now
indeed, they were.
I really want to get into, so as you know, the whole thought of my show here is let's talk about what happens behind the scenes, right? Because people don't get to see what happens, like you just said, Miss Tanya. We don't get to see that moment of redemption that you guys had behind the scenes, the stuff that they did not show. Let's dive into that a little bit. So with that being said, your experience, with working with the producers, every producer works differently. Some people want you to do more than others. So we want to know if you can tell us a little bit about your experience working throughout your entire stay in the house with the production team, but also like what was for you guys like one thing that you were not so comfortable with being aired on TV that they really wanted to push for, that they really, when you do like the interview scenes, and I know, and I can tell you, they'll tell you as well, they'll sit there and tell you and try to get you to, they'll prone you to say certain things, and they'll tell you how to say it. They'll be like, so let's try it like this and say this, and they'll make you say it in third person, like, okay, I sound crazy. You sit there for hours doing these green screen interviews.
But it's reality.
It's reality.
Okay.
So I want to know from you guys, your experience working with the production team, and one of the most, I guess a good word to use again, memorable experiences on the show that you did not really want to air that they aired.
That's a great question.
I'm going to take this one because I felt like they took advantage of me because I can be an emotional person. So while I was, sitting there, doing your behind the scenes thing, I felt like they always kept poking with everything that was super sensitive, just always trying to get me to cry.
Right.
And if I was not crying, it was almost like I felt like they had a problem with what I just taped.
Right.
So that was like a problem for me. So then it had me looking like I was always crying. Yeah, I'm an emotional person, but it was
Right.
Ferris was just kind of crazy as it was. Emotions were all over the place. I was not having a good time most of the time. And then I would have to say, as far as not comfortable, like anyone that's watched the show, I felt like they were just beating a dead horse, asking me about virginity, about my celibacy thing,
Right.
about sex. And I wasn't,
Right.
I mean, I was cool with answering the questions, but god dang, they was trying to be all up in me all the time.
Right.
And I was just
Wow.
like, all the time. I had no privacy. And and I
Right.
felt like they might have been probing the girls that asked me these random questions. And I'm
Right.
like, what the frick you want to know about my body for?
Exactly.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Like,
Right, they probably
If
did.
I
They
would've-
probably pulled him aside and was like, "So, as you heard Cammy talking about this, we want you to really get into this a little bit. Talk to her on the couch about how
And?
she's celibate and what you think about it and how you might not be so celibate." And I'm looking like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus, fix it."
I was like, oh my god,
got the
this
prayer
is
hands
so
up.
man.
Oh, sorry.
Because no, honestly, like you said, Cammy, like I feel the same way watching it as a viewer, and then knowing what might be happening behind the scenes as well. Like I feel like once they build you as a certain character, they do this from when
Yes.
they start your pitch packet and they start your whole thing before the show even starts filming. They have an idea of how it should be laid out. At least they need a format, right? They need a format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
once you start building your character, they're going to stick to something they know is a good thing to stick to.
Where they're gonna take you.
Exactly. So I feel like I don't blame you for being emotional because, like I said, I'll be on. When if you saw Finding My Father, I was over there boohooing every scene, hugging my ex-boyfriend, hugging everybody in the world. I would hug the dirt outside because I was like, oh my gosh. I went through rubbing myself in the dirt like a little boy. I felt so like emotional, so I can understand where you come from, but I also understand the sense where you didn't want to necessarily be so emotional, and it's not like you wanted to be seen in that light as you're like the most emotional person in the house, because that's not how it should have been. Exactly. There's a lot more stuff you have to worry about on the show, as you guys are like literally I almost said passengers, like you guys are driving somewhere. Contestants on the show. As a contestant or as somebody who's in that program, you have so much that
It's kind of like a passenger, though. That works.
You were in the front seat. You were in the front seat of
That's right.
hell of a ride. Let me tell you that.
Absolutely.
So actually, I'm going to throw it over to Honor because I know Honor has a good question to ask you next.
So just thinking about everything that you've done, just anything just pertaining to that show, would you do another show that is like Fix My Mom in the future?
Oh, I can answer this one. This is Tonja. Heads to the no. No.
She is ready.
She's singing over there. Okay.
I can see her do a little dance in the
Yes.
church.
I want to shimmy 4.
Yes, I'm so for it. I love it.
Oh my God, no! But I would do something else. Absolutely, I would try something else, like a cooking show, anything,
Okay.
but something like that. Oh my God,
Right.
no! I mean, it had us on an emotional roller coaster every day, 24/7. It was just so
I
much.
might get on the cooking show. They might break
Oh
some
my
crap up.
God!
Look,
it was.
I'm
ooh.
dangerous. I'll end up throwing some grits like Medea on somebody and slapping them with the frying pan. You're not going to get in my face. I have a knife in my hand. You want to play with me today? Today's your last day. Go ahead and step if you want to.
Oh, no.
Crazy.
They're not going to mess with me. Shawshank Redemption over here.
He's telling the truth, people.
No, I mean,
Yes, but it,
no, go
yes,
ahead.
but
Go
you know,
ahead.
this is- I'm sorry, but this is Tanya again. It was so crazy because people were really tripping out. They were like, "Oh, so you guys are the Christians? You the Christian? You the Christian?"
Right.
But a lot of times, people stereotype Christians.
Yes,
think
they
the
do.
Christians, they think you're supposed to sit here and take a black eye. I said, "No, sorry." I said, "I believe in Peter. Peter cut off an ear, and I'm gonna cut that
He
ear
sure
off."
did.
You better say
I
that.
said, so
He sure did.
I go.
And David knocked
Right,
Goliath
no,
down. So
That's
you know
right.
what? I'm gonna throw stones
Preach.
at your glass house. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. No, I mean, and you're right though. So even on my experience in the show, this is one thing again I'm getting into next week. I did not step into Finding My Father with anticipation on talking about my sexuality. That was not at all the plan, but the production team.
But they thought that way beforehand. didn't
They
once knew who you were.
they wanted me to talk about that till I lost my breath, and I got so mad.
Yes, God.
Like, why is it a big deal? Like, oh, you're dealing with conflict because you're a Christian, but you're also gay. I'm like, who gives a? I don't care what people think about me.
Right? No,
Right.
you don't.
I don't care what people think about me, and I'll tell them exactly how it is. But the thing is like I acted like, and some of those tears were honestly, I'm not gonna lie, some of those tears were not real tears. Y'all, I like acting. I went to many classes. I can cry on cue. I could cry right now if I wanted to.
So can I.
Right? We can
we
look.
doing,
We can make it
right?
real
We have a
emotional real quick.
Don't get it
Real
started.
emotional. No,
Okay.
but seriously. So I understand where you're coming from, and I really feel like having to do that. It's not like an insult, but to me, it was kind of like a slap in the face. Like, let's focus on why we're here.
Yeah.
Let's focus
Yeah,
on the real
exactly.
reason why I'm trying to strengthen my relationship with my
Absolutely.
daughter, or I'm trying to find my father.
Yep.
This has nothing to do with my sexuality, because that got me nowhere where I am today.
Nope. Exactly.
So let's
Right.
right.
Exactly.
Let's be real about it, right?
Yep.
So,
Amen.
for you two, you guys are a very close mother and daughter. I like to say mother and daughter duo, and I've been referring to you two as hashtag mother and daughter duo,
Yes.
as you've probably seen on Instagram. So, like, I really feel like you guys have a really close connection, and I want to know personally, for all those mothers and daughters out there who may be going through the same conflicts or challenges, what is your both of your views, like what are your feedback or points of, conversation for them in helping to strengthen their relationship?
Okay, Cammie's pointing to me. I'm Tonja. You know what? The first thing that I would like to say is, as far as Cammie and I growing together and how we were able to move forward, Mom had to step back and realize that Cammie was 6, 7, and 8 and plus.
Yeah.
I had to step back and realize that Cammie was a grown woman and that I had instilled in her everything that I could possibly instill in her. And I had to believe in myself and in Cammie to let it go and to realize that if whatever come up, Cammie would make the right decision. So for me, myself, and I had to step back. And I realized as I stepped back, it made us even closer because then that meant
Absolutely.
I trust Cammie. And Cammie, so Mommy, you really trust me. You're stepping back some. So then I threw my hands up all together and it's like, all right, Cammie, you're on your own. So for me, that's what I chose to do. I stepped back and let Cammie be 27 years old.
That's
right.
right.
Amazing.
And I totally understand. It resonates so deeply with me because that's what I had to do with my son, and it did bring us closer. So I commend you.
Yes.
That's a great
thank you.
answer. I love that answer. That's a good way to think about it because a lot of people don't have that point of view on it.
Nope.
And I feel like that's going to really help a lot of you out there who are dealing with the same things that these young women and mothers together dealt with on the show. That's a good way to look at it because, as you're building your bond, you have to get to know each other and know what your boundaries are, what your conflicts are,
Yes.
what your ups and
Yes.
downs are together and separately so you can really work on strengthening your... This is the thing. I'm not a life coach, but I give a lot of people advice. A lot of people at my job call me...
All right.
They call me Dr. Phil. I'm pretty sure I could do a better job than Miss Laura. But, no, look. Which is my next topic. If she's watching, I'm sorry, but I tried to book you in this interview, but you canceled last minute. So... You canceled last minute on me, so I'm gonna put you on blast. I don't have I like you on. Look, I feel I feel a little bit bad, but what is she gonna do?
Nothing.
Who's gonna check me, boo?
Nope.
So really, I feel like when I watched her as the life coach on Bad Girls Club, she did an okay job helping the girls, but those girls are so broken on Bad Girls Club.
Oh my
need a lot
gosh.
more than just a life
That is an
therapist.
understatement.
Exactly. They need some serious help. So on Fix My Mom was a whole different scenario. But I feel like she was a good person to put in the place because a lot of people watched Bad Girls Club and saw Laura and thought, oh my gosh, she's great.
Okay.
And when they heard she was going to be the life coach on Fix My Mom, it drew a lot more attention. I'm not going to lie. When I saw the preview for Fix My Mom and I saw Laura as the life coach, I actually got a little bit excited. I was like, oh, I know Laura from Bad Girls Club. I'm going to tune in. I watch every season of that Ratchet show of Bad Girls Club. So I know exactly what she'd be trying to do. So I want to ask you two, and this is your comfort level. If you want to think out the box or close the lid back down on it, it's up to you. Close it in. I just want to know, what was your experience like working with Laura? And is she I heard she's not a real life coach, bless her heart. She tries.
No.
But maybe she is licensed. I don't know. I can only say I heard that she wasn't from somebody that was on Bad Girls Club with her. And I want to know, now I'm curious, is she really a life coach? But how was your experience working with Laura on the show?
Now, it's hard to answer this because I'm going to say she was super nice. I'm not even going to lie.
She's nice.
Now, you know when you're having a conversation with her and a producer pulls her in the back and then she does a whole 180 on you, that ain't her fault. So I'm not even going to be mad at Miss Laura for that. We didn't like the way you approached Cammie, changed it around, you was being too nice, being a little meaner, whatever it is. But in the grand scheme of things, my mother and I, we never got one-on-one session with her about our relationship.
Oh my
it was
gosh.
always about the arguments going on in the house. So as far as helping my mom and I, that was something that we never got. We never experienced on the show.
Which I know when you mentioned that to me, I know we talked a little bit about it off camera. Oh, look at me. Off the show here, me and Cammy, I know we talked a little bit about it through text here and there. So, like, I noticed that too. Like, watching on the actual show, I was wondering where the heck was you? Because, again, you were my favorite duo in the house. I'm like, well, I want to see that connection, the life coach, her feedback to them. Like, what does she think they need to do to help strengthen their relationship? Because I'm curious on her point of view. But they didn't show it. So I'm like, okay, so I thought they just didn't show it on air, period. But you're saying they didn't even have a sit down.
No, the only conversation that they showed was the only one we had, and it was basically give Amber and Sean a second chance before you roll out.
Wow.
And that was it. And we both had a problem with it. They didn't show it all, but we were like, we were tired of talking about this other family when this is not what we came here to do.
Right.
So, no, we went on the show for coaching, didn't get no coaching.
So then we really don't have an opinion about
her
because we never had a one-on-one with her.
You didn't have a personal experience with her, right? Exactly.
Exactly. So we have no idea whatsoever. We kept waiting for our turn to come around. We kept being lapped repeatedly, and it was terrible. We kept saying to each other, like, oh, my gosh, like, when is our time coming? But it never came.
Right. Do you ladies feel, I hate saying you guys when I'm talking to two women. That's so disrespectful. I'm sorry.
That's a good job on being inclusive.
Right. So do you ladies feel like with your experience on the show, it was more of a challenge to physically do the mental and physical challenges that were on the show, or being in the house and the environment with the other mothers and daughters who are dealing with their own stuff going on, and then obviously the clip of, you both with Amber and Sean, like, I'm just curious myself, and this isn't even one that I had thought to ask, but now I'm curious, like, what was more of a challenge for you, the actual physical challenges or the intensity of being around other mothers and daughters who were trying to do their own thing and build their own relationship up?
Yes, it was the intensity of that environment. You could cut that air with a knife. It was real bad. Like, it was to the point where people were on different sides of the room.
Right.
We had to be in separate areas. It was kind of a very hostile environment because,
is crazy.
They just kept lashing out at random different moments. Now, I will have to say that towards the end, Amber and I didn't have any issues. We would be around each other. She's like, hey, Cammy, come on, let's play this game, whatever. The parent thing, that was a whole different situation between Miss Sean and I, my mom and I, or whatever. But that air was thick, and that was the worst part about it. You didn't even want to come to set every day, just dealing with that environment.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. Which is funny to watch because, like, most shows, like if you think of like the Real World and other shows like that, like they put everybody in the house together. But you guys had separate houses you actually slept in, and you guys came together. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys came together for filming in one house, but you guys didn't stay there at nights together. Correct?
So it was the same house all the time, but we just didn't stay there overnight. They tried to get that a couple times, but it didn't work out. It was your choice, and they wasn't cutting out my curls at night. So
right. Don't mess them curls. Don't mess them curls up. No. Because you guys are not paying for my curls to be redone or touched up.
No.
So don't mess with it. So as we're asking Cammy and Tanya a few last questions here, everybody, those of you who are tuning in online or through the radio app, I hope you are, but now is the time to call in. We want to take your calls. If you have questions for Cammy and Tanya about their experience on the show, on reality TV at all, the challenges they faced and what they went through, we want to hear your questions. And we have a special Out the Box giveaway prize, courtesy of Out the Box Radio and Cinemark Entertainment. For those who just, one person now, so I'm sorry, you guys, but that means you need to call in so we can select the person, right? So go ahead and call in with your questions. We'll be taking your calls. We have a few more minutes here with Cammy and Tanya. I was going to go back a little bit while we're waiting for callers. Cammy, I saw on the episode, one of the episodes towards the end, like you mentioned that you and Amber maybe had made up or had a conversation on the side. You guys had a scene where like you went out to the park or something, all the daughters went out. Was that more of a genuine, real conversation, connection, evening that you guys had together, you ladies had together, or was it more like they had it planned where the mothers would do their thing, the daughters were doing their thing, and you guys just went out for the sake of the way it was filmed?
That was the way they had it filmed. They had split the mothers and daughters up. So while I was out there, to be honest, I had a good time. But while I was out there kikiing with the girls, my mom was boom, boom, pow, on the
Right.
other end. So
Right.
she was having a bad time. I was having a pretty decent time for the day, to be honest. So that's how that happened.
Yeah, and I keep saying that. You ladies.
It's okay. It's
I'm
okay.
trying to catch myself before I spit it out.
But that's good.
You ladies went through, again, so much emotional roller coasters on this show, so many up and down moments. And I'm just curious. So this question is going to be geared more towards you, Mom, Miss Tonja. Okay. So this is one of our out-the-box questions of the day. So what are some of the hardest challenges, or one of the hardest challenges that you have faced with Kami directly? I don't mean to put you on the spot, Tonja or Kami, but I love you both. I love you both.
No, honest, but I can be honest. One of the hardest challenges for me was that I wanted Kami to come to reality, to tell the truth that all of this time she was raised a Christian. Let me go back. She was raised a Christian from a newborn up. But Kami wasn't coming out and letting people know that was one of the real main reasons that we were bickering. I wanted her to say, Mom, I'm no longer a Christian. If she would have said that, I would have respected that and let her go. Wow. So that was a challenge for me. That was one of my biggest challenges, besides me not letting her go a little bit, being mom and being overly protective.
Yeah.
That was it.
In particular, she's really in particular talking about the virginity thing. I'm clearly still a Christian, but like some of those aspects, or what I was doing on my layovers, because a lot of people know I'm a flight attendant. So in her realm, she would want me to be a little more strict. I assume those were a lot of our issues.
Yes.
Right, which is understandable. Absolutely. I mean, it's a good thing that you ladies, are able to connect on that level. Look,
he called himself.
Right. You know what I mean, right? No, but honestly, like, again, the connection is very strong, I feel like, between you two, and I admire that, and I think that those people out there who are going through the same struggles or conflicts can really shine some light on the relationship and the boundaries really that you both have faced, and the obstacles you both have like hurdled around. I think is very important to show. You didn't really get a chance to see that on Fix My Mom, but it happens in real life. And again, I admire that, and I think that you two both did a great job on the show. So no matter what people say, you did a great job. And the most important thing is like the image that you left. I think you left an amazing image, and it was very powerful. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, I speak my mind, so I ain't gonna tell you a lie.
No, he's not.
I'm not gonna tell you a lie, especially when other people are listening. Not gonna tell you a lie.
I can vouch for him.
So as we're wrapping up the interview here with Kami and Tonja, I wanna throw it to you both you ladies. So congratulations on your experience on the show again, Fix My Mom and Oxygen. For those of you who haven't really watched it or been able, absolutely. If anybody wants to watch the series, it is available online. I know YouTube has it online. It's not expensive to buy the series. Literally, it's like less than $15, I think, for the entire series, which was like 8 or 9 episodes. Very affordable. It's worth it to me. I would definitely recommend watching it because it's a great show to watch, and I think it might help those of you who are going through the same situation.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you again, Kami and Tonja, for joining us today for our interview. Anything else that you would like to this is your moment of redemption. Anything else you would like to say before we wrap up here?
Oh no! I thought I stood everything I had to say.
All right.
Before, at least this one's going to air. So
it's true.
Right, we're not leaving no clips out.
None.
This whole thing is aired, so you're right about that. I'm not a shady producer, honey.
Oh no, I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate it so much. Thanks for everything. We appreciate everything, and it was an honor to be on the show.
Oh yes, say that word again. It was a pleasure to speak with you both.
It was an honor.
Yes.
Yes, co-host. Yes, it was absolutely a pleasure to have you both as well. Thank you again. I will be talking to you both very soon, and have a great night.
Yes,
enjoy your
night.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Thanks.
Y'all take care.